Manor, Texas. What you know about it, Luis?
Well, Jared, there's a lot of people moving there, that's for sure, but I think there's some things that people should know about before they make that move to Manor.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're talking about Manor, and how many people do you get that mispronounced that the first time?
Yeah, quite a few actually.
You know,
it's Manor.
Manor. It looks like Manor, but it is Manor, so you got to get that pronunciation right. So y'all make sure you get down there and mispronounce that like button while we're here. So let's get into this, the pros and cons. You know, we're going to talk about the pros first here, and we do have the cons. You definitely want to stick around for the cons at the end, especially the last one. But just in case you're new to Manor, whatever you want to call it, you want to give you the good stuff here too. Start off with, I think, one of the main reasons people are looking at Manor in the first place, and that's the location.
Right. The proximity, I think it's one of the big ones for me, is just so close to so close to everything, but specifically to Austin, downtown, the Domain, the airport, and one of your favorites, Tesla Gigafactory.
Gigafactory. And I think too, that's probably one of the biggest drivers or will be one of the biggest drivers for growth, is they're bringing in more people for that.
That's awesome. Yeah.
And so you're just really close to all that. It makes that really convenient. And even there's some neighborhoods too, we'll talk about later, that can kind of be close to Manor but still get you maybe about 5 minutes even closer to the Gigafactory. So the location is a big deal if you want to be on that side, but whether you're commuting to Tesla or even to you know, Apple or the kind of the Tech Ridge area of Austin.
Right.
All that is kind of within reach there in Manor. Now, if you're liking videos like this where we're telling you all about the different suburbs, neighborhoods, communities around Austin, you got to get down there, hit that subscribe button, and click the bell. That way you get notified when our new videos come out. We've got them coming out every single week, and you definitely don't want to miss them. And now another thing that is bringing a lot of people over this way to Manor is going to be just the general affordability and home prices.
That's so true, Jared. So, I mean, just to start, the median home price here is about $379. Now, that's not to say that you can't find homes cheaper than that, because you can, and obviously you can't find new construction homes that, you know, are a little bit on the higher end.
I would say too, like if the median is the $379, that's giving you a midpoint. So that's telling you can actually find homes a good bit lower than that.
True.
A lot of Austin, it's hard to find something at $379, right? So,
I know.
So yeah, that just kind of tells you what you've got there. And there's some really nice neighborhoods in Manor too. Yeah,
for sure. Shadow Glen was one of our favorite ones. I mean, Shadow Glen, Presidential Meadows are just two of our most established ones. Presidential Glen is also another one. But you also have a lot of these newer communities that we're starting to see pop up all over Manor, and I think that's just speaks to all the growth that's going on in this town.
Yeah, I mean, you drive around and you just see lots of new construction going on, both in those neighborhoods and just the completely new neighborhoods. You've got the Wild Horse area over there too.
Lagos.
Lagos. And I bring up Wild Horse because that's one of the places where you've also got our next pro, which is just the new commercial developments. There's, you know, we'll get into the cons and this in a little bit, but as far as the future and things coming, you've got a lot of commercial growth and things coming to Manor, you know, things to do, shopping, retail, all that kind of stuff.
Yes, for sure. So again, speaking to all the growth in Manor, you have so much, like you touched upon, commercial, retail, Manor Commons, one of the ones that it's up and coming right there off of 290 and 973. You mentioned Wild Horse Ranch, huge commercial project right down the toll road. I think this is all going to be really beneficial for all the residents already living there, and especially for everyone coming into town. Yeah,
and another one too is the Manor Crossing right there, which is kind of across from where the Walmart is, right across 290. Supposedly, we've got the HEB coming there.
Hopefully.
I think it's coming. The rumor was that they were under contract on some land there, so
yes.
Hopefully
they need an HEB bad in Manor. It's growing so much, I'm surprised we don't have one yet.
Yeah, you can get to it over in Elgin. How far is it to get to that?
It's about 10 miles down the road off 290, but you have to go to another town. Yeah, they need one in town. Yeah. So yes, for sure.
It's got to be coming. Yeah, with all the growth, it's got to be coming to Manor. But even with the growth that we've had, I still think you kind of have kept the next pro on the list, which is just that small town vibe, the friendly people. I mean, we were out in Manor kind of shooting some other video yesterday, and I think we saw that. Maybe you saw that video too. But yeah, I mean, everybody I talk to, really nice, friendly, and it's just, you know, it doesn't really feel like you're in this big cold city. You're in,
For sure.
You're
I
in
mean,
Manor.
we walked into a restaurant and, you know, people there greet us, you know, with such a friendly vibe. It's that small town vibe that people talk about. So if that's something that you are definitely into, I mean, you have that in Manor,
Yeah.
small town vibe.
Now, on the flip side of that, this is one of those where I think it can be a pro and a con, right? So,
For sure.
you know, again, and maybe it's you. What do you prefer? You got to let us know in the comments. But we'll say it could go either way. It could be a con of that small town vibe. That's, you know, when I was mentioning the new developments, all that's coming, all that's great. It's going to be, you know, just a ton of stuff there in Manor in, you know, several years, 5 years, 10 years down the road. But today, right now, when you come in, you might feel that it's lacking a little bit.
That's true. That's true. So still very underdeveloped, and you know, that's probably what people don't like about the town. There's not much to do. Such a small town vibe. But I mean, if you are, how did you phrase it to me today? You have to see the big picture.
Yeah, you need to see.
If you see the big picture down the road, I think it'd be a great investment, if you will.
The way I said, I think it's good is a kind of like a fixer-upper. Like if you're buying a fixer-upper house, right? If you can't go into that house and kind of see the vision of what it could be, you're probably not going to want to buy that house, right? Because you're looking at what it looks like today. And,
Right.
and Manor, I feel like, is the same way. If you can go in, you can see the vision of where all that growth is taking it. You know that's going to be a good investment.
Yeah.
You're going to see, I mean, and really just an investment. I mean, you should see your property values grow up. It's already appreciated a lot there. One of the fastest, I think,
Fastest
appreciating
in the entire Austin area.
in the whole area. And with all that growth, with all the jobs coming with Samsung and Tesla and all these on the east side, that's only going to continue.
That's true. I mean, it's almost inevitable for sure.
So with all that, you know, you've got that coming. It's just not there yet.
If you've been thinking about moving out here, you have to hit us up. Call, text, email, whatever it takes to get a hold of us so we can get you moved out here to Manor or anywhere in the ATX.
You're on the east side of town. We said it's easy to get into downtown. You're pretty close proximity, but you can right there as you're going into downtown, especially, you know, in the morning or coming the other way in the evening, you could hit some traffic.
That's true. So right as you hit Manor, you have the start or the end of the toll road, however you want to look at it. And right there is where you start to build up some traffic, especially just because everyone coming off the toll road, especially during rush hour times. So that could definitely be a con for people that, you know, we should definitely mention for sure.
Yeah, now as you get to live here and you're local and you get to know your way around, there are some ways around there, right? You can take those back
roads.
I think you take the back roads probably more than you take the take 290 there.
To Manor, yeah, for sure. Yeah, I avoid 290 during rush hour. So I don't even bother.
So we'll help you out. Y'all reach out to us. We'll help you out. Figure out the ways to get around that traffic a little bit.
Yep.
As you're going through Manor. Now another thing you're gonna see. This is one we get questions about all the time, and that's going to be the school system there. If you look online, you look at the ratings. Today, as it stands today, again, we're like everything else, like we're improving. It is improving. It's not quite rated as highly as some of the other areas around town.
I think that's key, just because Austin, especially North Austin, they have such great school ratings. So in relative to what are you comparing Manor? I mean, if you're comparing it to those, yeah, I mean, they're not
Your
as
Round Rocks, your
your Round Rocks
Leanders,
and Leanders. Those are some of the most highly rated school districts. But Manor, I think some of the key points to mention is there's just so much growth coming into town, and with all that growth, you're getting new schools, and with new schools, your ratings and academics is all going to reflect itself in that growth as well.
Yeah, I mean, you've already got several new elementary schools as part of these neighborhoods that have been built.
We drove by 2 of them. Yes,
Yeah, you got the high school, the new high school that's been built. And so all that is there, and I feel like we saw another one coming. I'm not sure, maybe it was another middle school, but you've got all that coming there, in addition to some other things there. So I think that school system is going to be improving pretty rapidly.
I think so too.
With all the growth over the next few years, especially I must say, and especially and unfortunately with the next con, and that's going to be the property taxes, which is going to help in those schools, but it's also might be hurting your pocket a little bit.
I almost wish you didn't bring that up, but yes, it's so true. I mean, we have to. I mean, property taxes in Texas is just like nobody wants to talk about, but you have to.
It's the con for the whole area, right?
It's the price of living in Texas, but in particular in Manor, I mean, you'll probably see some of the highest property taxes in this whole Austin area. And that's just the fact of it. I mean, on average, you're looking at around 2.9. I mean, that is pretty high compared to what you see all across Austin.
And what's like the highest you've seen in Manor?
A little bit over 3, so yeah, 3.2, I think.
Yeah,
3. That's on the high end.
We looked at some houses out, new construction. You know, you can get 500, 600,000. So yeah, 3% on 600,000. It can be pretty tough.
Just be sure you file for your homestead, but that's for a whole nother video.
That is. Now, I do want to say, however, as high as the property taxes are in most of Manor, we mentioned at the beginning of this video, there is a new neighborhood that you might really want to check out. It's actually really unique. Tons of benefits, more than we can talk about in this video for sure. But one of the benefits of that neighborhood that's drawing people in is that you can actually save a lot off of that 2.9. You effectively get down to about 2.2 or 3.
Yeah.
In that neighborhood, and that's one really that you got to check out. We actually made a whole video about it, and you're going to want to check that one out right here. If you're interested in being around Manor, check out that video, and we'll see y'all there.